Fine.
How is your Monday morning?
My Monday is fantastic. Yeah.
I like that. Are your Monday mornings always awesome? I'm an his specific one.
No. Every Monday should be fantastic because Monday is the starting of the week.
Wow, I like that.
It brings the pace of the week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. That is exactly the energy we look for right here on Art and Culture Monday. I want you to introduce yourself. Tuambie wewe ni nani, unafanya nini, why are you here today, and then we jump right into this conversation.
Okay, my name is OIKO Edwin. I'm the acting chairman, Kenya Youth Forum Initiative, and acting chairman, Kenya Youth Forum Initiative.
Yes.
And we are just fostering for political affiliation and youth engagement in politics.
Yes.
And we want to, I'm here just to put out, being the Mental Awareness Month,
Yes.
I want to speak about the mental awareness and the youth in general, and how to foster youth engagement in our today's politics.
Yes.
Yeah.
So question, I realized you said acting chairman. Is that because mko katikati ya uchaguzi, or you're representing, or why acting?
Okay, I'm acting chairman because our able chairman, who was Mr. Norbert Kiziri Vuzulu, he was promoted to another sector. So I took over. I was actually, before I was the Secretary General.
Yes.
So I took over, and for now I'm the acting chairman.
Yes.
So he was promoted to be the patron
Yes.
of the organization.
Okay, yeah, it's good to know that, so that we know what is the story there.
Yeah.
I want us to jump right in, because actually, ladies and gentlemen, May is the Mental Health Awareness Month. So we are here. We are bound to have more conversations on mental health awareness. We are going to be having much more of them. So this is just the beginning, all right? And he is here to exactly make sure that we are in line with this month's discussion on mental health. So let's start kama kawaida. Why is mental health awareness important? Why do we need to know about
Actually, talking about mental health, mental health is just concerned with the mind. The mind functions with 5 components.
Yes.
That is, there is a physical, and we have emotional, that is emotional, maybe spiritual.
Yes.
Then we have other components that actually function with it, that is psychological, and we had another component, which they're supposed to be 5.
Yes.
Actually, I can't recall all of them.
Yes.
But the mind has all connection to the body.
Yes.
Actually. So if the mind has all the connection to the body, it is healthy.
Yeah.
If the mind is healthy, because all connections are centered to the mind.
The mind.
Yeah. So talking about mental health,
Yes.
your mind should be in a good order.
Yes.
For you
in
to
order
yeah.
for the rest of the
body part,
functions,
the
or the rest
functioning
of the body to
yeah.
actually function well.
Yeah, because
yes.
everything is just spread from the neural mind
Yes.
to the rest of the body.
To the rest of the body. True.
Yeah.
So it is of utmost importance that your mind is functioning well, and that
Yeah.
it is okay. That's why we keep making noise around mental health awareness. So this month's theme on mental health awareness is what?
Yeah, this month's theme, maybe worldwide, it is anxiety. Anxiety being the way things happen to a person. And talking of anxiety, anxiety actually is caused by some 2 to 3 issues, and maybe some symptoms can be shown.
Yes, take us through.
Yeah. Actually, after the post-COVID era, anxiety and maybe depression, they became the most rampant.
Yes.
During because of the lockdown
Yes.
that was put. So when the lockdown came, people were lonely at the houses.
Yes.
The people lost jobs.
Yes.
And expenses were high.
Yeah.
Even the economy has never gone down.
Yes.
It's still on the
Has
rise.
not recovered
Yeah, it has
from
not.
COVID.
Yeah, it is still on the rise.
Yeah.
So many people have that struggle to re-embark and recover what they had lost during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes.
So anxiety, it's increased like with 25%, both youths and adults. Both were affected.
Yes.
Yeah, and the loneliness, being a total lockdown, the loneliness brought up a social disorder, which is another mental health issue. Yeah, social disorder, this is where, because people became to the online working, which is most basically based at home, and they are lonely at home.
Yes.
So being lonely, they develop a social disorder whereby they don't want to negotiate or to interact mostly with other people. They feel like they don't want to be with the rest of the people. Because
now if I can work from home, I'm working just on my computer, I'm probably not going to the office. This means my touch with people is even minimized. So this social disorder was, someone felt they don't want to go back to now
to the social interactions,
to the society.
And then because of this total lockdown, we are wearing masks. You cannot have a negotiation like the way we are having. There was distances, so people moved on to communications through technology rather than the face-to-face communication. So, cutting down the face-to-face communication is cutting the social interactions. So that led to most of anxieties because you don't have someone to go and tell your issues directly. When maybe you have stress, you have this issue. So if you don't have someone to tell something exactly, you just focusing on the social media part, and the social media peer, sometimes it cheats a lot. People fake in social media. So people faking their lives, and you here at the internet following their lives, and you'll see comparing yourself with them. It will just bring a little bit of stress. Then you have the bills to pay, you have this to talk to, you have your issues to sort out. But if you don't have someone to speak to face, it will bring another
disorder. So we're saying COVID-19 brought about a rise in mental health disorders.
It brought a rise, actually.
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
That is sad news, because we were all in this together, so we need to find a way. Hence the need for awareness, you know. So I want us to go to there is a lot of let's start with mental health disorders. There are so many. One, how are you, before we even touch on the individuals, how are you able to distinguish? How do I tell that I have anxiety and not just stress? That I have mood distraction and not bipolar? How are you able to tell apart this?
Actually, when we want to elaborate about mental health, in every disorder, there are other subcategories. Like if we go to anxiety, in anxiety there is a social anxiety disorder. After that, they are categorized there. There is psychological anxiety disorder, there is panic disorder, there is fear disorder, just depending on what is the effect of the anxiety part.
But all these disorders, of course, can only be diagnosed by a licensed doctor, right? Medical professional. Then you don't go around telling people you are bipolar and you have not been, diagnosed by a licensed doctor. So it's good. So first step, if you realize you're struggling with any of these mental health issues, what do you do?
Actually, the first step, if you have a mental issue, you must go to the doctor, as you have said. You must see the doctor to give you the way forward. And I want to advise my fellow youths outside there, it is just wise that you go and visit the doctor and be sure if you either have anxiety and know the way forward to move on with it. Because if you know the anxiety in you, you'll be able to cope it and you'll accept it. You have it. You have the mental health disorder. I have this disorder. So you'll be able to accept it and cope with it, and that will be an easy way. If you don't know the mental health issue you have, you will not know how to solve it. You will not know how to solve it.
I think a ground rule for mental health disorders is like you would a physical disease. If my stomach was aching, I'm not rushing to diagnose myself. I am going to the hospital to find out what is the specific problem and how can it be solved. Take us through personality disorders. Like you have said, under every category there are subcategories. So what are some examples of personality disorders that someone might actually suffer from mentally?
Actually, personality disorders that you may suffer mentally, these can happen maybe if you can subcategorize. There are other 5 components in that. That is in the achievements. Your achievements can be a personality disorder, depending on what achievements you've done. And the time you conceive for yourself, the time you put yourself to it, what you do, what you like, the work. Because at times you may find that you might overwork yourself. When you overwork yourself, you come back to home, you'll have emotion. I don't know how I'll put that phrase. You'll feel like you are extensively or exclusively tired. So if you are that tired, you'll have a sleeping disorder.
Yes.
And most of the people think that giving themselves time to rest is just sleeping.
Yeah.
But sleeping is not putting yourself to rest. Sleeping is just boosting yourself. It's like recharging your body.
Yes.
So if you oversleep, that is actually another disorder.
Another disorder.
Yeah, because you might sleep and wake up tired. That's not resting. So the best sleeping should be, they used to say 6, but according to researchers, they say the best should be 8 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
So about 8 hours
for good sleep. Yeah.
Yes.
And
so someone that is sleeping 12, 14 hours is maybe having
that is a mental disorder. That is under sleeping disorder. Yeah, that is a mental health issue.
Yes, I feel like there are a lot of categories, but we have said, number one is to see a professional doctor, so that you can be professionally diagnosed, and then you can know how to go from there. Why do you think there is a bit of stigma among young people? You know, like amongst us, why are we not able to actually go to the hospital? Like we are saying, we have to keep repeating and telling people it is a good thing for you to go to the hospital. Why is there a lot of stigma around mental health illnesses?
Okay, the reason why there is a lot of stigma is that most of the people think of mental health issue as the total madness of a person. But actually, before it reaches to that sector where you're totally out of control, there are these few signs. Because actually, if you talk about mental health awareness, each disorder can bring another disorder. So they keep on accumulating depending on how you react on them.
Yes.
So if they accumulate and they become out of your control, then the person loses his mind totally.
Yes.
So most of the people think that that is the sector where they should go and see the doctor. But actually that ain't the sector.
Yes.
And most of them, they don't want to accept that. Even if there are some few signs and symptoms that can be of help to be checked by a doctor.
Yes, what are these signs and symptoms?
Like talking about anxiety, you have stress, you have mood swings, you have eating disorders, and the anxiety. You find that you don't want to, you don't feel like eating anything, or you feel like eating a lot. Even there is this feeling, the ladies call it cravings, but actually cravings without the exact order is that can be a sign of a symptom. Because when you are craving to have something, maybe eating these crunchies, that is what you are used to your body. So the moment your body is lack of it, as lack of that something you've been used to, you will just feel like you're craving for that thing. But craving, sometimes not all cravings are about signs, but some
can be an indicator.
An indicator.
So, wow. So I'm liking that. So a number of ways where you can maybe know you're suffering from anxiety is just what we are talking about. Craving. So eating too much or eating too little can be a sign. Can be. We are not saying in all situations.
No, not in all situations.
And then you have talked about stress. You've talked about mood swings. So if you keep moving from one end of the spectrum to the other, because I think another marker for mental health, it's a whole spectrum. Like you have said, to stop seeing it like sanity and insanity.
Yeah, actually that's how most of the people see it.
Exactly.
They want it to be the insanity part, so that they can visit a doctor.
Yes.
But actually, you can.
There's a lot. The spectrum is huge, from minor issues, minor mental health issues, to major mental health issues. That spectrum is just very huge. So we want to take away that that belief or that notion that it has to be either or, like it's either you're fine or you are really not fine. There's a whole spectrum in there, and you can go see a doctor. If you realize your eating patterns have changed, like he has said, if you realize your sleeping patterns have become, you know, everywhere, you are sleeping for 14, 15 hours a day, or you're sleeping for just 1 hour, you know, it may be time. It may be time to seek help. So, the Kenya Youth Forum, what activities are you running to make sure that you are, you know, keeping people aware on mental health issues? Actually,
talking about our organization, that is Kenya Youth Forum, we have some empowerment programs. And I can give a big shout out to my fellow colleagues, that is Mr. Festus Kipngetich, our Secretary General from Nakuru County, and we have Mr. Peter Cheruiyot, our vice chair, that is from Bomet, and Mr. Isaac Mraya, that is from Mayumayu, our able treasurer. So with the organizations and the unity that we have and teamwork, we conduct empowerment programs, and we have some initiatives that we have united with to do the activities that pertain to mental health issues, that is like conducting sports issues and youth engagement, that is table discussions, face-to-face discussions, and just asking the youth and what they can be helped with, so that we can help solve this issue for the mental health awareness month.
So there's a lot of activities that are happening at Kenya Youth Forum to just make sure you have kept youths engaged. In what way are you participating in this month's anxiety theme in mental awareness? Is there any plans that you have? When will they be? Where will they be?
Okay, this month our plans is that we have been conducting webinars, like when the month started, we have just conducted 2 webinars so far. Then we are planning to have a run, that is a walk from Ruiru to Roysambu. That will be a mental health walk. And everything has been posted to our pages. So I think people can follow there and see.
All right, then I think this is a juncture where I ask for social media pages. What name do you go by so that we can be able to follow through?
At Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. We go by the name Kenya Youth Forum Initiative. And at LinkedIn, I go by the name OIKO Edwin. So you can find you can find all this information on Kenya Youth Forum or on his socials. LinkedIn, you've said is OIKO Edwin. Everywhere is OIKO Edwin.
Everywhere is OIKO Edwin. He can be able to lead you to Kenya Youth Forum and attach you to activities that are happening. Finally, big up your team. I know you work with many people. You have come with a number of gentlemen that give them a big up as we close.
I'd like to give a big shout out to an artist that is, we have been supporting an artist from Maroroi area, Roysambu. His name is Klifu. I don't know, he calls himself Mbogi Unknown. That is our artist. We have been promoting him. We have a big shout out to our patron, Mr. Norbert Kizili Buzulu. Another shout out to our admin, Caroline Kisinju. And the able one I had mentioned before, Mr. Festus Kipingetich, our Secretary General, Bomet. No, he's not Bomet. Festus Kipingetich, Secretary from Nakuru. Peter Cheruiyot, our Vice Chair from Bomet. And Isaac Mraya, our Treasurer from Mayumayu area. And that's a very big shout out, and even to my parents if they're seeing this, because they're the one who brought me to this world. I appreciate them.
So a big shout out to them first and foremost.
I've just heard it is Women's Day actually. So shout out to my mom, Madam Nancy. Respect.
Yes, actually Martha's. It is Martha's Day.
Mother's Day. Actually concluded now.
Amazing.
Big shout out to my mom.
Exactly.
I love that woman. She's the one motivating me in everything I do. So she's like my key aspect. So I just want to give her a big shout out. Wow, amazing. Thank you very much, Edwin, for being here. Thank you for coming, to create mental health awareness. Thank you for being here, and thank you for bringing us in very important information. So guys, I hope that you're going to be celebrating Mental Health Awareness Month of May, and this year's theme is anxiety. So you can look up anxiety, see the signs and the symptoms, and if you feel like you are ticking off the boxes in the ranges of 60% and above, it may be time to go see actually a licensed doctor, so that you can see if you can have an official diagnosis. Then you can be able to work yourself up to recovery. All right, thank you very much for joining us for this specific segment. Asante sana, Edwin, for being here. It's been an honor and a pleasure. We are moving on. You guys are talking to me about the Hamar people.